Hey there, it's Andrew. Just wanted to show folks a new tool I'm using. It's the Cloudinary cloud image management tool. Um, and the reason I wanted to try this out is I've got a number of sites that I keep duplicating because it's sort of like a template that I sell to clients. And it comes pre-populated with a lot of images, but it's hogging up, a lot of the demo sites on my server are hogging up space because they each come with like a gig of images. So I've got, 10 gigs, 10 sample sites, and it's chewing up 10 gigs of space on the server, and it just seems like a waste because all the images are the same. So there's a few different ways that you can centralize your images and have them pulled from one resource. I just gave Cloudinary a try. This isn't an affiliate video. I don't get any money if you go with Cloudinary. Just thought I'd show it to folks because I think it's pretty good. It seems to it does more than I expected, which is always nice. So first, what is something like Cloudinary? Well, it allows you to, rather than have all the images on your website hosted on your website, they are pushed to the cloud. And so every time someone accesses your site, the site is delivered from your server. The rest of it is delivered from the Cloudinary CDN, or Content Delivery Network. So in theory, it'll allow your web pages to be served up faster. I haven't tested that, so don't quote me on that yet. But it does help you if your site explodes and disappears and there's no backup. All your images are safe. It uses less space on your server, but then there's a lot of other advantages too that I've kind of been discovering, so I thought I'd show you folks. So if I go over to one of my sites where it's installed, it's a very simple site. It's just like a demo site. So you can see there's a couple images on the home page. If I just copy the image URL and paste it in, you'll see that it's being delivered by Cloudinary. It's not being delivered by this site proper, which is New Day Professional Coaching. So all the images on the site are being served up from the Cloudinary. Copy that image URL, pop this other one in. Yeah, they're all being served up by the Cloudinary CDN. So in theory, that's less of a load on my server every time someone accesses a page. The images are being served up from somewhere else. So that's one advantage. But I'll take you into the back end and you can see how this thing works. So when you install the plugin for WordPress, and I should back up and say Cloudinary is available on a number of platforms for regular HTML, database-driven, PHP sites, whatever. They do have a very handy WordPress plugin that just takes about 2 seconds to set up, and then you're off and running. So when you have it installed, first actually let me take you to the traditional media library. When you first install Cloudinary, we'll assume your site is already up and live. It adds this column here to your media library, Cloudinary, and initially it'll say that the image is not uploaded to Cloudinary, or that it's just local. So what I did initially was I just selected the files, and at bulk action it added a Cloudinary upload, so it uploaded all of my images to Cloudinary, which means if I was space frugal, I could go into the back end of my server and delete these images. So right now they're on my server, although actually I've deleted them. They're not sitting on my server at all. So all 373 images used on this site are not being stored on my server anymore. So that's kind of cool. So it's very easy to get your existing images up, just like 2 clicks. Also, I noticed that if you don't like Cloudinary, there's an option here, Migrate Away. So I could pull this one. Let's just try it. Migrate away. This one image is going to, so it's just humming right now, it's going to come away. So now it's not on Cloudinary anymore, but I can put it back up. Just like that. And so now it puts it back up, so now it's on Cloudinary. So then we can go to our Cloudinary media library. So this is the Cloudinary media library, so a lot of different images across all my sites. Well, call it about 5 or 10 different sites I have that are all using this same Cloudinary account. So all of them have access. They're all just like demo sites and internal things. None of them are client sites. they all have access to the same image library. So when I upload one image, you're working on one site, it's available on the other site. So that's very handy. Let's look at some of the kind of the cool things that you can do though. Let's take this picture here. So I've got this My Little Pony image. You can add effects to the image. So you can grayscale it with just one click. And a second click to refresh the preview. This is something I might be doing on my site soon. So just grayscaling the images with one click, or adding quite a bit of different image filters. Oh, that's kind of nice, kind of like a fade effect. So basically, you have these. I'm not sure how frequently people use these crazy things, but actually, makes transparent is pretty handy if you don't want to take the time to do something in Photoshop. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm going to bring it back to regular. And obviously resizing is what this thing is really nice about. So let's actually create a new post. We'll add a post here. We'll call it image manipulation. And what we'll do here is we'll put an image in. So the traditional way might be to add an image. This one's face. And I'm just using the traditional WordPress method where I get a choice of a few, depending on your theme and how you program things, a few different sizes, whatnot. So there's just a basic image load. But I can also, and when I'm using Cloudinary, it's preferred, so I go to the Cloudinary media library. And so let's add, see if that same picture is easy to find. No, it isn't. So let's go back to the My Little Pony. So we can see it's a really big image, 1920 by 1080. So I'm going to stretch it down to 1044, and I can insert the post. Note before I put it in, I've got the standard, alt tags and title images and alignment and whatnot. Maybe I'll left align it. And I insert it in the post. Now it's pretty big, it was 1044. So when I preview this, it's going to be kind of crunched and not looking too good. So when you get a lot of new bloggers or people that don't have time to change the image size of things, or people that don't understand image dimensions, sometimes they're adding images into posts and they're like, hey, it doesn't fit, what do I do? And then they, there's different ways to do it, obviously, within the WordPress tool, the basic gallery where you can shrink images from here, but this is a little bit unrefined, and I find, yeah, it gets the job done, but it's not perfect. The nice part is here, with Cloudinary, you sort of get a really handy slider, and you can see the exact dimensions. So if you know that images look great at, I don't know, maybe it's 400 pixels, look really good, 400 pixels wide, let's try that. We don't need to refresh the preview, we just update the post. So maybe 400 pixels wide looks good. Let's preview it in the post here, coming up right here. Yeah, maybe I like 400. Maybe that's the dimensions that I want. So bottom line, you're able to really do a lot of things to the images in addition to enjoying the benefit of cloud-based distribution of the images. So that's my mini review. I highly recommend this tool for WordPress. I think I'm just still scratching the surface of the benefits of it. They give you, I'll pop over the pricing page and talk about it for a second. So if you go for the free solution, you get 500 megs of storage, 50,000 images, and 1 gig of transfer. Let me see if I can pop into my account without having to log in. There, so when you're in, it shows you exactly your stats. So I'm at 1082 images. That's how many transformations, like I went black and white or image scaling. That puts a little bit of work on the Cloudinary server. So they, they'll keep track of that and charge you for it eventually. But like we said, here's the pricing. It is quite cheap. So I'm on the free plan. Got a long ways to go before I chew up the free plan. And you'll see the small plan is pretty good for most small sites. Or developers, whatever you want to say. But bottom line, like if you ever even got up to that level, you're getting a lot of service for that. $40 a month, you're getting 1 million images and 40 gigs of bandwidth, which is pretty significant. So it's quite inexpensive. in my opinion, for what you get out of it. So there you go.